Dzień dobry. Witam wszystkich fanów gier przygodowych w ten piękne niedzielne popołudnie. O, tak powinienem był zacząć. Czołem. Dzisiaj odrobinę inaczej niż przyjęliśmy to robić, to znaczy najpierw słowo wstępu, a dopiero potem intro, ale to już za moment. Pamiętacie, że na kolejną grę po przedługiej serii z Black Dali wybraliśmy sobie The Gin Machine, z czego się osobiście bardzo cieszę, bo jestem bardzo ciekaw tego tytułu. Tak jak wspominałem, za moment odpalę intro i tradycyjnie pozwolę, żebyśmy wszyscy się nim delektowali bez zbędnego komentarza. Gra ma jedną przypadłość, to znaczy między uruchomieniami kolejnymi nie zapamiętuję ustawień ani prędkości wyświetlania dialogów, ani głośności mowy, efektów dźwiękowych, czy też samej muzyki, więc jak tylko skończy się intro, to tak wiem, że to wszystko należy wyregulować i od tego zacznę, od ściszenia tych wspomnianych elementów. Niestety będziemy musieli ten proces powtarzać za każdym razem, kiedy będziemy tą grę uruchamiać. To tyle słowem wstępu. A jeszcze jedna rzecz, nie ma kandydatów do głosowania na kolejną przygodówkę z prostej przyczyny nie podjąłem jeszcze decyzji, które tytuły chciałbym do tego głosowania zgłosić. Jeżeli macie jakieś propozycje, to śmiało w komentarzach pod filmem na YouTubie albo na naszym Disco. Z przyjemnością wysłucham waszych propozycji. Jeszcze jedna uwaga około growa. Myślę, że musimy z powrotem przesunąć streamy na godzinę 18, bo o 16 jest jeszcze tak jasno, że świeci mi w japę, nie pomijając już te białe pasy, które się tu pojawiają, bo coś prześwita przez żaluzję. Ale to kwestie organizacyjne. A my zaczynamy The Gin Machine.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty! Oi, come here! Ow! Somebody grab him!
Piers Featherstone Hall, gentleman and hero, is due to return from the Americas, having completed a secret mission of the utmost importance to the British Empire. If anyone can help me, this man can.
Ah, England. This green and pleasant land. Heart of the British Empire. After 3 months trailing round America, followed by a couple of weeks on a steamer in a third-class cabin. Oh, it's good to be home, isn't it, Mossop?
It's good to be back on dry land, sir. Right, bunch.
Well, you seem to have regained some of your colour, old chap.
You can't keep a good man down, sir.
Just try keeping your meals down for now, Mossop. We're nearly home.
Righty-ho, sir.
Ah, London. The hub of polite society, the very cornerstone of civilization, eh, Mossop?
Right you are, sir. America's all very well, but I wouldn't like to live there. I can't help feel there's something missing.
Poverty, I expect, Mossop. Not enough dregs of society, no beggars, no urchins, no common street tarts and drunken ne'er-do-wells. No wonder you felt out of place there. Still, it's a young country. Give them time. They'll have their own poor one day.
But America is so big. How will they ever be able to manage all those people?
Don't be too disparaging of the Americans. They could be very useful allies in a war someday. Come on, hail a carriage, and let's go home, Mossop.
There's bound to be one in the streets, sir.
Dobra. Zróbmy trochę ciszej, co? Dobra, muzyka, tak. Efekty dźwiękowe, tak. Dialogi też odrobinę ciszej. Potem jak się zaczną dialogi, zaczną pojawiać się dźwięki, to powiecie mi, czy jest dobrze. Speech, ok, a gdzie jest tempo dialogów? Subtitles. O. Podgłośnij co? Teraz powinno być dobrze.
That lady has a story or two to relate.
Paper!
The air is full of the sounds of her idle chatter.
Paper!
Okej.
Looking after her child must be a monumentous task. That young upstart could do with a lesson in good manners.
Trochę muzyka jest dla mnie za głośna jeszcze. Jeden poziom niżej.
Looking after her child must be a monumentous task.
Okej, dobra. To wygląda na to, że jesteśmy w grze. Może jak sobie zrobimy save'a, to on to zapamięta wtedy. To przepraszam, jak się robi save'y?
Paper!
Aha, może się nie robi save'ów? To stwarza pewien problem.
Paper!
Okej, dobra. No nic, grajmy sobie. Najwyżej za każdym jak będziemy grali, będę musiał wcześniej zaczynać. 2 godziny wcześniej stream, żeby nadgonić.
Paper!
That engine is a fine example of British scientific craftsmanship.
Okej, efekty dźwiękowe trochę za głośne jeszcze są. Chyba, że to przypadłość.
Paper!
Dobra.
It's a boy selling a periodical of some kind.
Podoba mi się jakiego języka używa nasz bohater.
What are you selling?
The latest copy of the Sporting Times, Governor. All the results of last week's racing within these very pages.
Essential information indeed. I'll take a copy.
I'll be needing your payment, Governor.
Fajnie rozmawiają.
Can I have a copy of the Sporting Times?
I'll be needing your payment, Governor.
Okej.
It's a boy selling a periodical of some kind.
Właśnie wysiedliśmy z cuga, więc nie będziemy do niego z powrotem wsiadać.
You, urchin boy. Summon us a hansom cab.
Begging your pardon, sir, but I'm selling a newspaper, and my master'd be as like to flog me to death if I was off and not selling.
Okej, to ma sens.
You are not worthy of my attention, boy.
Okej, a możemy mu zapłacić na przykład?
I see no reason for giving things away unnecessarily.
Okej, czyli się nasz bohater nie domyślił, że chodzi o...
All gentlemen carry one of these to protect them from unnecessary nastiness. I just want to go home and relax as soon as possible. Mossop can put the cab fare on my account.
Paper!
This is made from genuine leather.
Skórzany.
I just want to go home and relax as soon as possible. Mossop can put the cab fare on my account.
Okej, dobra. Czyli na razie nie możemy kupić tej gazety, ale można zapamiętać, że tutaj gość sprzedaje, ten chłopiec sprzedaje gazety. Okej.
He looks like an under-tall kind of fellow. He looks like an under-tall kind of fellow.
Okej, Mossip, zawołaj nam taksówkę.
He's not important. He's my manservant.
He's not important, he's my manservant. Okej.
So, what shall we do next, Mossop?
I suggest we go home, sir. Me feet are killing me.
Tell me a bit about yourself, Mossop.
Well, sir, there's not much to tell. I was born in Clerkenwell to parents who were servants just like me.
Nie wiem, Bedlagiku.
It runs in the family, then, the serving profession.
Oh, yes, sir. And all 17 of me brothers and sisters are in the trade too. Apart from one brother, he joined the Royal Navy.
Why did your brother join the Navy?
He was shanghaied as he was emptying Lord Cholmondeley's latrine into the Thames. A boat pulled alongside him, and he was bundled into a sack by some big burly thugs.
I think they're called recruitment consultants, aren't they?
We didn't hear from him for weeks. Lord Cholmondeley was furious. Thought me brother had stolen his bucket.
Why did most of your family become servants?
We can't cook well enough to become chefs. We're too short to do any manual labour, and we don't have enough initiative to do things without being told what to do.
Ej, fajnie to jest napisane.
Remind me again, why did I employ you?
I was the cheapest, sir.
Oh, yes, that's right. How are we going to get home?
We should take a cab, sir.
Ładnie, w sensie ładnie są narysowane te postacie, tła też są fajne, tylko kadr jest tak trochę niefortunny. Oni powinni być w centrum tego kadru, jak rozmawiają, a stoją tak z prawej strony i cały dialog się tutaj gnieździ.
Shouldn't we go somewhere more interesting than just my house?
Sir, we've just travelled halfway across the world by land and sea. Haven't we had enough adventure for a while?
I don't know, Mossop. I get the feeling that this is the start of a whole new adventure. Why are you following me?
I'm your loyal and trustworthy manservant, sir. I will follow you to the grave.
Actually, I think I'd rather let you go first to that particular destination.
Trzeba iść do domu. Ja wiem, zaraz pójdę do domu, ale są fajne teksty.
Let's get on a
Chcę ich
train and go
wysłuchać.
somewhere exciting.
Actually, sir, I'd rather go home and put my feet up.
And so you shall, Mossop. As soon as you've done the laundry, cleaned the house and made me some tea.
Oh, yes,
Oczywiście.
of course. How could I forget?
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Dobra, jak tu się woła taksówkę? No jest, taxi cab, okej.
Aha! A hansom cab.
Hansom
The
cab.
only civilized way of getting around town. I shall get this one to take me home.
Hansom cab. Czy Mossy będzie jechał w środku, czy na zewnątrz? Chyba w środku.
Instruct the driver to
nie
wait
musiał
here,
zamykać
Mossop.
drzwi za sobą.
I may want to go out again later.
Righty-ho, sir.
Home at last. Fetch me a drink, Mossop. I need to relax a little before I make my report to the Queen.
But you're not due to report in for a week, sir.
Better make it a large drink then, what?
Excuse me, Mr. Featherstone, I presume?
I can't believe it.
Nor can I, sir.
I don't believe you cannot pronounce my name properly. It's Fanshawe.
But it's a talking cat, sir. It speaks English.
It's hardly talking English if it can't pronounce one's name. It's perfectly simple. F, silent E, A, silent T, silent H, silent E, silent R, S, silent T, silent O, N. Swap the N and the S, silent E, H, A, U, G, H. Or Fanshawe.
Fanshawe. Proste. No dobra, trochę za długo ta animacja trwa, już mogłaby się skończyć.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Fanshawe. Please accept my sincerest apology.
Very well, but don't let it happen again. What do you want?
I'm desperately in need of help from a renowned gentleman such as yourself.
Oh, you want a job? Well, I'm sorry, but I already have Mossop here for my manservant, and I'm happy with his work. But if you can cook anything other than bangers and mash and manage to take a boat trip without shouting your lunch at the fishes every 5 minutes, you might be in with a chance.
Oh no, Mr. Fanshawe. I'm not looking for work.
That's typical of the youth of today, Mossop. They think the world owes them a living.
Too true, sir.
You misunderstand me, sir. I am here to implore you to undertake a mission. A mission so dangerous and so important that the fate of the world may very well depend on it. I beseech you, as a gentleman, to listen to what I have to say.
As a gentleman, I'm obliged to hear your story, but make it brief, or Mossop, as a manservant, will be obliged to throw you out of my house.
Very well, Mr. Fanshawe. Thank you. My story begins thousands of miles away on a remote tropical island in uncharted waters. There, deep within a mountain, lies the diabolic laboratory of Dr. Dinsey.
Who's Dr. Dinsey?
He's an evil, twisted genius who has discovered the satanic secret of combining two different species to make a new creature altogether. He has a device that he calls the gene machine. The two original creatures are completely destroyed, and the resulting animal is so different, so strange. Mr. Fanshawe, what he's doing is against God himself.
Sounds all right to me. Maybe this doctor could combine Mossop with a fish to get him some sea legs.
You don't understand, Mr. Fanshawe. Dr. Dinsey intends to create an army of horrific creatures which he can use to take over the world.
This all seems a bit far-fetched to me.
I am living proof of his madness. He took a normal alley cat and combined it with a human being to make me. I was his 73rd experiment. That's my name, 73.
So you have all the sentience and intelligence of a man, but also the agility and suppleness of a cat.
Yes, Mr. Fanshawe. Washing myself has a whole new meaning to me now. You wouldn't believe what I can bend over and lick.
A real gentleman would never lick himself. There.
Now, it gets someone else to do it.
You know, I think this is just some sort of confidence trick to extort money out of God-fearing fellows. You're probably just some hirsute boy with a tail. Mossop, throw him out.
No, wait. You're my only hope. There is no one else brave enough to conquer Dr. Dinsey.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of gullible people round who'd only be too happy to help you.
But they don't have your reputation, Mr. Fanshawe. I'm sorry I bothered you. I thought you were the bravest adventurer in the world. The newspapers must have it wrong. Maybe I'll try Rafe Kingpiece instead. He claims that he fears nothing at all.
Kingpiece? I wouldn't believe anything that rogue says. The man's a charlatan. He dyes his hair, you know. He's not naturally blonde.
And yet I'm sure he would take on this mission.
For a price, I'll wager.
The knowledge that he had saved the world would doubtless be reward enough.
Not for him. That bounder can't be trusted. If he saved the world, he'd probably keep it for himself.
You give me no choice. Help me, Mr. Fanshawe, or I will have to ask Mr. Kingpiece.
Well, we can't have that, can we? Mossop, hail a carriage to take us to Buckingham Palace. I'll inform Queen Victoria about the situation, and we'll have the Royal Navy sort this scoundrel out in short order.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that. Dinsey has spies everywhere. If a naval task force was assembled, he'd go to ground and disappear until he was too powerful to stop.
We'll find someone else to help then.
Who else would believe my story, Mr. Fanshawe? They'd think it was a trick, like you did. You'll have to do it alone.
My master is not afraid to fly in the face of adversity.
Thank you, Mossop. Just what exactly do you expect me to do?
You must get to Dinsey Island and defeat the Doctor and his mutant army.
Where is this island?
The area is uncharted, so I don't know. You'll have to find it.
My master can find anything.
Thank you, Mossop. Can you give me a clue, 73?
While I was there, I heard the Doctor talking about the only other man who knew the location of the island. A seafarer called Captain Nematode, who shared Dinsey's hatred of the world's governments and who helped him to set up his laboratory.
Ale ten kot stamtąd przypłynął, to chyba powinien wiedzieć, gdzie to jest.
Then we must charter a ship and find this Captain Nematode. Mossop, what funds do we have left after our American trip?
Not enough to charter a ship and a crew, sir. In fact, barely enough to feed us for a week.
Are you saying that because you don't want to set sail again, Mossop?
Oh, no, sir. But couldn't we go on an adventure we could walk easily to just this once? Please? An ambling adventure? Couldn't we tackle a menace that's just a brisk stroll away? A threat that's only a jaunty saunter down the road? Who knows, sir? There might be a mad doctor just around the corner we could battle.
Oh, yes, Mossop. Wouldn't that be just so convenient for you if the local family doctor turned out to be a crazy monster? I don't think so. Not a good, decent man like Dr. Jekyll.
Ha.
I don't go to him. I go to that nice young Dr. Crippen. Anyway, we really do have next to no ready funds, sir.
Then I will have to raise the necessary funding myself. 73, you stay here, where you'll be safe from passing circus folk who may wish to turn you into a sideshow attraction. Mossop, we must think of a way to get some money. About £8,000 will do, I should think.
Szybko obliczył, ile ta podróż będzie kosztowała.
£8,000? However will we find that much?
Okej, dobra, wracamy do gry. Coś mnie martwi, że nie można save'a zrobić. Może to jest jeszcze po prostu taki moment, że nie można, ale...
A visitor must have left that here.
Co to? Cygaro?
This might come in handy to put things in.
W dół idzie bardzo wolno, a na boki idzie całkiem szybko.
Maybe I could sell some of my more antique possessions. I should consult the Royal Scientific Institute about this. Mossop hasn't tidied up very well. That issue is weeks old. I must have words with Mossop. A gentleman cannot be expected to tidy up after himself in this day and age.
Tak jest. Zobaczmy, czy można jeszcze szybciej się poruszać. Okej, Tak będzie lepiej, ale w dół i w górę chodzi ewidentnie wolniej niż na lewo i prawo.
I don't think anyone would want that rug. Apart from its previous owner, of course. I like that rug just where it is.
Okej. Co my tutaj mamy? Okej, ale co on zrobił?
I could use this as an airtight and watertight container.
Airtight, watertight container. Okej.
Let's see what I've got in my wallet.
Calling card, coś jeszcze?
Let's see what I've got in my wallet.
Pieniądze. O, znalazły się pieniądze.
Let's see what I've got in my wallet.
Mógłby od razu wszystko wyciągnąć, a nie po jednym. Czy będziesz streamować Resident Evil 4? Wszystko wskazuje na to, że będę. Club membership card.
This is a rather ornate membership card with my name on it.
Niewygodne to menu jest.
Of course, the Highborn Club. Its membership is composed entirely of rich gentlemen who like nothing better than to waste their inherited money on insane ventures. I'll surely be able to find someone there to invest in my expedition.
Okej, dobra. Czyli tam będziemy mogli się zwrócić o...
There's nothing
fundusze.
useful left in there.
Okej, nic więcej nie ma w portfelu, co jeszcze były
This is
pieniądze.
all the ready cash I have left. A few measly pounds.
Ile razy przydasz czwórkę? Jestem 3 minuty... Musiałem przerwać drugie przejście, a jestem już po pokonaniu ostatniego bossa, więc tylko jazda skuterem mi została.
It has my address
drugi raz
and the
skończyć.
correct spelling of my name printed on it.
Okay.
This is an old copy of the Sporting Times from before I went to America.
Tam chyba jakiś list leżał.
I know a gentleman never fetches his own mail, but I shall make an exception in this case. I can always deduct something from Mossop's salary.
Słusznie. Chyba będę żył wedle zasad tego pana Fenshaw. Co on podniósł? List.
I won't find out what this envelope contains unless I open it.
No, o to mi chodziło. Bardzo toporne to jest. Każesz mu tak, klikasz, żeby zobaczył, co to jest. Mówi, nie mogę zobaczyć, bo jest zamknięty. Jeszcze raz klikasz to menu, żeby go otworzył. Otworzył. I wciąż nie powiedział, co jest. I trzeci raz klikasz to menu, żeby ci powiedział, co jest napisane.
There's a letter inside this envelope.
Jeszcze mi nie powie, tak? Czyli 5 razy trzeba kliknąć, żeby się dowiedzieć, co jest
This
na
must be
liście.
from my beloved Mirabella. I recognize the scent. Venus flytrap, if I'm not mistaken. I bet it's a love letter. How much she's missed me. How she longs for my embrace. When will I go and see her? That sort of thing. She's absolutely besotted with me. Bless her. Let me see.
Dear Piers, or should I say, gutless, unchivalrous bag of maggot-ridden offal! How dare you go off to America without me? I had to go shopping using my own allowance for weeks. You'd better get your deceitful hide round to my house immediately, or you can kiss our engagement goodbye. And you'd better have bought me a jolly expensive present too. Yours sincerely, Mirabella de Camembert, Miss.
Oh dear. I suppose I better go and see her. She doesn't like being
Mirabella
kept waiting.
i Camembert, tak? Bardzo ładnie.
All gentlemen carry one of these to protect them from unnecessary nastiness.
Gdzie się tutaj idzie?
This is the first time I've been in Mossop's room. So this is how he chooses to live. 2 chairs and a bed. I'm paying him far too much. If Mossop uses that in his cooking, it would explain a lot. This could set major events in motion.
Aha, okej. O, whisky.
Oh, Rob Roy Glaswegian Malted Industrial Whiskey. Recommended for paint stripping, treatment of verrucas and hand-to-hand combat. Drink only in emergency. I hope Mossop keeps this strictly for medicinal purposes.
Zabieramy tą whisky.
I'm sure Mossop won't mind me borrowing this. After all, I provided the wages that paid for it.
Słusznie.
I would not even let a dog sleep on that flea-ridden mattress. Ah, a veritable cesspit of lower-class bacteria.
Cesspit of lower class bacteria. Ładne.
I don't think that's valuable enough to sell.
Czyli rozważamy, co możemy sprzedać, żeby zebrać to 8000 funtów, ok? No i to jest pokój.
This is a rather ornate membership card with my name on it.
Tak, to już słyszeliśmy. Co to za klucz?
That's one of my keys. I must have left it there by mistake.
No, ale mógłby nam powiedzieć, do czego ten klucz jest.
I shouldn't have left this lying around. It keeps my most valuable possessions safe and sound.
Okay.
Ah, my lovely, comfortable bed. There had better not be any cat hairs on it when I get back. I haven't got time to sleep.
Duża przestrzeń, a niewiele rzeczy można kliknąć, żeby poprosić o komentarz. Znów daleko do ideału Lucas Artsowego.
I need to find people of dubious reputation.
Why on earth do you want to do that, sir? A fine, upstanding gentleman like yourself shouldn't be involved with people of that kind.
If I'm to obtain the necessary funds to charter a steamship, I must resort to nefarious methods. And since I'm a decent, God-fearing Englishman, I have no natural penchant for criminal activities. Therefore, I shall consult the experts.
There's plenty of those in London, sir.
You're born of common stock, Mossop. You must know a den of iniquity somewhere.
I think the place you're looking for is the Crab and Sailor.
What kind of establishment is that?
It's a public house, sir, with a bar that serves real ale. It's only the water that's recycled.
Sounds perfect. Where is it?
Whitechapel, sir.
Oh,
One of the most
Whitechapel.
dangerous, flea-ridden mudholes in the British Empire. It's renowned for being voted place least likely to host the Great Exhibition of 1851.
We'll have to visit there on our travels. It could come in very useful. Your room is filthy, Mossop.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll clean it as soon as I have the time.
Where's my tea?
I'm sorry, sir. I'll make it as soon as I have time.
Do you think the cat is telling the truth?
When I first looked at him, I couldn't believe me own eyes, sir. I'm not sure who or what to trust anymore.
So, what shall we do next, Mossop?
I wouldn't like to say, sir. I'm sure you've a good plan as usual.
What valuable possessions do we have in the house, Mossop?
Well, I don't have anything of value.
And so you shouldn't. Not on the salary I pay you anyway. I have nothing more to say to you.
Mam nadzieję, że on
Chodźcie,
będzie z nami że będzie nam towarzyszył przez całą przygodę. Raz, że jest śmieszny i to zawsze można odbijać piłeczkę, mogą ze sobą rozmawiać. A po drugie, to jest też fajny wytrych. On zawsze może coś podpowiedzieć, jakąś radę dać, pomóc. Może nawet będą zagadki, w którym będą potrzebne faktycznie dwie osoby, tak jak w świetnym Fate of Atlantis.
Help me! Help!
Mossop, remember when we had the chimney swept before we left for America?
Yes, sir. A young lad did it.
Did you actually see the boy leave the house?
Come to think of it, sir. No, I don't recall actually seeing him go.
Czyli 3 miesiące siedzi w
Might
kominie,
have to
tak?
get the chimney swept again, I think. It's too warm to bother lighting a fire.
Aha, no tak, dobrze, że się nie da się podpalić, bo w kominie siedzi chłopiec. Na jego szczęście.
Let's see. Maybe some of my books can help me in my quest. How to be a complete gentleman. I already know that one off by heart.
Of course.
Maybe I could find some useful information in my book collection.
Dobra, jak się do menu... O. Napisy odrobinę za szybko są.
The 1 Minute Gentleman. Read it. It's locked.
It's locked, ale mamy klucz przecież.
This is the deed of property to this house. It's worth thousands of pounds.
A, można zostawić dom. Okej, sprytnie. Whisky... A, to jest ten akt...
Whoever owns these owns my house.
akt
I better hang on to
własności,
them.
okej.
That's a little knick-knack I got from a street trader when I was in the colonies. Its only worth is as a paperweight.
A teraz za długo trwają. Nie ma takiego złotego środka. Okej, mamy jakiegoś bożka.
This is a worthless knick-knack I brought on my travels a few years ago.
Okej, to chyba wszystko w mieszkaniu, nie? Dobra, to jedźmy może do tych dżentelmenów, żeby zainwestowali w naszą podróż. O, wszy z niego lecą.
You are house-trained, aren't you?
I don't know, Mr. Fanshawe. I've never been in a house before.
Well, when and if you feel the urge, go outside. Or in Mossop's room. How did you get here from Dinsey Island?
To tell the truth, I just swam west until I saw a passing ship, clambered aboard and stowed away for a couple of weeks. Luckily, it was en route to Southampton docks.
How did you come to hear of me and my adventuring exploits?
There was a newspaper on the floor of my cage. It had a feature on you.
They gave you reading matter? Oh, how civilized.
Wasn't actually for reading, Mr. Fanshawe.
O,
Stay here, but stay off the furniture.
dobra, jednak muszą być szybciej trochę. Nawet się nie zdążyli, nawet się nie mieli okazji przebrać.
Where to, Governor?
Where to, Governor? O, Mirabella, Whitechapel, Docki, Highborn Club, Buckingham Palace. O, możemy do Buckingham wyjechać. Royal Scientific Institute i nasz dom. Byliśmy na tej stacji, może teraz będziemy mogli
Blackfriars Station.
tą gazetę kupić, co?
Paper!
He's waiting for the next train.
Paper!
Can I have a copy of the Sporting Times?
I'll be needing your payment, Governor. Paper!
I've been needing your payment, Governor.
Thank you kindly, Governor. Paper!
This is the latest Sporting Times, just a few days old.
Paper!
Okej. Dobra, mamy gazetę. Wciąż się nie da save'a zrobić. To jest dość niepokojące. Nie sprawdziłem, jak długa jest ta gra, ale
He's
jak
not
się okaże,
important. He's my manservant.
żeby się powtarzać 2 godziny. Dobra. Jedźmy do Mirabelki w takim razie.
Where to, Governor?
Barnesbury.
Yeah. You'll never guess who I had in the back of me cab yesterday.
Not if I sit here silently staring out of the window and pretending not to hear you. No.
Może. Z drugiej strony, jak klikam load, to powinno w takim razie załadować, nie?
Do you mind if I wait here, sir? I know Miss Mirabella is your betrothed,
But what, Mossop?
well, she scares me, sir.
Nonsense, Mossop. She's just strong-willed, with a mind of her own. She knows what she wants, and she's going to make me get it for her. Wait for me here.
Thank you, sir.
Spróbujmy. Nie. Tak jakby w ogóle się nie dało zrobić save'a. To dość niefortunne.
Hello, Gertrude. Is Mirabella here?
Hello?
Miss Mirabella, your mistress. Is she here?
I'm not Mirabella. I'm Gertrude.
I know that.
There's a strange girl in the garden, you know.
So she's in the garden. Excellent. Thank you, Gertrude.
DOSBox, czyli...
Hello, Gertrude.
Why, if it isn't Prince Albert.
Go away, Gertrude.
Very well, Your Royal Highness.
Fajnie sobie rozmawiamy.
Hello, Gertrude.
Why, if it isn't Prince Albert.
Go away, Gertrude.
Very well, Your Royal Highness.
That's Gertrude, the senile maid of my beloved Mirabella.
Gdzie ten ogród? Na zewnątrz? To wygląda jakby było przejście. Czy jakieś kwiatki? Catnip. O,
I don't care for the sweet smell myself, but I understand it appeals to many animals. I think 73 might appreciate this.
właśnie. Ciekawe, czy zadziała na 73.
Mirabella, my darling.
It's about time! I sent that letter a week ago!
But I've only just returned from America, my sweet. I came as soon as I could.
Piers, if you really loved me, you would have got here sooner. I've had a simply awful time with the wedding invitations. I had to write them all out myself. It's a good job the diamond on the engagement ring you gave me was so small. Otherwise, the added weight on my hand would have made the task even more unbearable.
Już lubię Mirabelę.
Exactly how many people have you invited, my little puppet?
Including your family and friends?
About 30 of them, yes.
Well, so far there's 30 plus 3, that's 33, 38, 41, 47, 1,018.
1,000 and... We don't even know that many people.
But they're people we should know, Piers. It's typical of you to try to stifle my chances of becoming someone important. I go to the trouble of inviting dukes and earls and people who mean something in society, and you want to spoil it for me as usual. Sometimes I wonder why I'm marrying you at all.
That is my beloved fiancée. She's as affectionate as a great white shark, and she shops like there's no tomorrow.
Can I have my engagement ring back, please?
Is there anything I can get to make you happy, dearest?
A knighthood would be good for a start. But for now, a strong cup of tea would be nice.
I was wondering, my darling, could I possibly, if you wouldn't mind, just to help out, you understand, about your engagement ring, my dear?
Yes, Piers, about my so-called engagement ring. Do you realise the jewel is so small, I can hardly even tell I've got it on? So unless you brought me a replacement of a decent size and weight, I don't even want to discuss the subject.
Of course, my petal. I will be talked at by you later, my sweet.
Tak, złota kobieta. Do rany przyłóż.
How sweet the bird's song is. It's so rare to see wildlife that hasn't been scared off by Mirabella's presence.
I have to mouse over load save, then move the mouse to the middle of the screen, then click. Only by doing that does the list of slots show up. I have to... Jeszcze raz. Nie rozumiem. Okej. Okej. Tylko nawet nie mogę wybrać. Tylko dopóki nie kliknę, to nie wiem, aha, jak wcisnę Y, to... Ale głupie. Ale przynajmniej jest safe, nie? No to by było... To byłby problem. Ale dzięki. Co ona chciała? Herbatę, nie? Może Gertruda jej zrobi tą herbatę. Nie mieść się!
Where to, Governor?
Barnsbury!
Barnsbury. Tam jeszcze Gertrudę.
Wait here, Mossop.
Thank you, sir.
Czy może jej zrobić herbatę?
Hello, Gertrude.
Why, if it isn't Prince Albert.
Can you make Mirabella a cup of tea?
Who's Mirabella?
She's your mistress. Oh, never mind. Just make a cup of tea, will you?
Yes, Ma'am.
Okej. Może jej zrobi. Ale nie będziemy czekać.
Where to, Governor?
Zobaczmy
The docks.
Ja pamiętam doki z
Smell that sea
doki
air,
są
Mossop. Isn't it
w drugiej
bracing?
części.
Actually, sir, I think the odour might be dead fish.
It's still better than your cooking. Stop worrying. You can't get seasick from just looking at boats.
If you say so, sir.
49 przez 2. Ciekawe, co to znaczy.
He must be the chap who oversees ships entering and leaving the port. Have you ever heard of a chap called Nematode?
Captain Nematode? Ah, nothing but a legend. To scare children on dark, stormy nights.
Tell me more about the legend of Captain Nematode.
Some say he's a man wronged by society. Others say he's Lucifer himself, come to steal the souls of sailors. There's even some say he's a 30-foot green pixie, but no one listens to them. I've heard he travels the 7 seas in a huge mechanical fish, capable of staying underwater for weeks on
Czyli
end.
kapitan Nemo.
A mechanical fish?
I'm only telling you what I heard.
Do you know where Captain Nematode can be found?
If he really does exist, then he can only be found under the sea. The legend says he refuses to set foot on dry land.
Because of his contempt for all land-based life forms?
No, because he gets sunburned easily.
What else do you know about Captain Nematode?
Only that he's a deeply troubled and tormented man, driven by some strange inner force to find the lost city of Atlantis.
What do you know about Nematode's mechanical fish?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of ships that have been sunk under mysterious circumstances. And the survivors telling of a huge metal fish that moved like lightning, ran in their craft and breached in the hulls. But it could be just a convenient excuse for when the crew have got drunk and hit an iceberg.
Come now, ships don't hit icebergs in this day and age. Modern technology prevents it from happening.
I wouldn't be so sure. One thing I do know. With the size of passenger ships nowadays, an iceberg strike would cause a disaster of titanic proportions.
What is the lost city of Atlantis?
I think it's from Greek mythology. A city that was swallowed up by the sea, or something like that.
Good heavens, what happened to the inhabitants? Did they all drown?
No one knows. But there are rumors that some of the women survived by growing fishtails and becoming mermaids. But that may just be wishful thinking by lonely sailors on long voyages.
Do you know where Atlantis is?
I remember this old sailor down in Zanzibar. Stumpy McPherson was his name. Worst shark wrestler I've ever seen. He was selling these crudely drawn maps showing the location of Atlantis. But I couldn't make the details out any too good, 'cause he drew 'em with a pencil in his teeth. Him not having hands, the like. We thought he was a confidence trickster.
Did you see Stumpy's map yourself?
I caught a glimpse of one, once. Wasn't really a map at all. Looked like a picture of a big cat. A panther. And there was this arrow sort of pointing to its eye.
Panther's eye. Have you any idea what it could mean?
It means Stumpy McPherson was as good a cartographer as he was a shark wrestler. But somehow, Crappy Mappy McPherson didn't have the same ring to it.
Can I find this Stumpy McPherson? Is he still alive?
Sadly, no. No one bought his maps, and he went back to shark wrestling. He was last seen frantically headbutting a great white.
Why was Stumpy trying to sell the maps?
He was trying to raise money to sue the businessmen who ran the shark wrestling show. I told him, Stumpy, you don't have a leg to stand on. But he didn't listen none.
Why did Stumpy become a shark wrestler in the first place?
All his other shows failed. The marlin fencing, the eel tying, the pro-celebrity halibut juggling. They're a tough crowd to please in Zanzibar.
Did Stumpy have a death wish?
I think he did. Some say he was pining for a girl he left at home, and that he'd go to sleep at night clutching a picture of her to his chest, and mumbling, "Look at the legs on that."
This was still when he had his arms.
This was still when he had his chest, laddie.
I may consult you later, old chap. I see nothing special. I see nothing special. I see nothing special.
Look, if you haven't actually got a ship, you shouldn't really hang around the docks. These sailors, they could get a wrong idea about you.
Wow. Dobra. Mało rzeczy do kliknięcia, ale fajnie, że jest dużo, że jest dużo dialogów. Każdy ma coś ciekawego do powiedzenia.
Where to, Governor?
The Crab and Sailor Public House in Whitechapel.
Whitechapel, piękne miejsce. O, Kuba
What's
rozpływa.
that dreadful smell, Mossop?
Me, I expect, sir.
No, I mean that other dreadful smell.
Oh, all of Whitechapel smells like that. Are you sure you want to come here, sir? I mean, it's not exactly the sort of place a fine gentleman like yourself would normally frequent.
It's perfectly all right, Mossop. Besides, it's good to see how the other half lives sometimes, even if it is the lower half. I smell nothing unexpected. What a repellent little man. I'll wager that he isn't popular with the ladies. Who are you?
I am Jonathan T. Ripper. At your service, sir.
What are you doing here?
I am just strolling along, taking in the sights of London, watching the various deadly sins be performed with alarming regularity.
Creepy.
What's your job?
I am doctor to the royal household by day, and Freemason by night.
What a rich and varied life you must lead. Is there anywhere at all decent here in Whitechapel?
No, they're all cesspits of sin, depravity, and debauchery. Everywhere you look.
Don't you like debauchery, then?
Certainly not. The peddlers of sin should be hung, drawn, and quartered.
Quite right, too. It's high time someone took a stand.
Do you think I should do something about it, then?
Of course. Strike a blow for the normal, decent people of the world. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Good day to you. I smell nothing unexpected.
Okej. Gdzie jest ten pub, którego mieliśmy pójść? Okej. Tak, właśnie stworzyłem potwora.
He obviously works in engineering, judging by the oily nature of his clothing. Hello there. I take it you work in either engineering or sewage, judging by the state of you.
Aye, that I do. I'm an engineer, truth be told. Say, Governor, do me a favour and give me something to wipe my hands on. All this grease is getting on my blinking dinner.
Mamy tą chusteczkę, nie?
Here you are. Wipe your greasy hands on this.
Thank ye kindly, Squire.
Thank you kindly, Squire.
I'm not really sure I want this back, but it is mine.
A, teraz może zjeść. No to smacznego.
Excuse me.
Do you mind? I'm having me dinner.
Charming.
I'm having my dinner.
That's the man that serves the drinks round here. Good day, barman.
What's it to be then, sir?
Nothing, thank you. I'm just looking around.
Well, don't sit down without buying nothing. I'm not running a hostel here.
He's had far too much to drink.
I love you all.
He looks like a career alcoholic.
Career alcoholic.
My wife doesn't understand me.
Spróbujmy jeszcze raz tego save'a zrobić, jak to było. Save. Nie, okej, nie najeżdżało się i wtedy się klikało. Tak. 1. I 2. Tak. Ciekawy system. Bardzo ciekawy. O, co to jest? No nie, okej, tu nie słyszę rozmowy, ale było ucho, może można ich podsłuchać.
I can hear some hushed chatter in there.
Aha, czyli nie ma.
I can hear some hushed chatter
To po
in
co
there.
to po co to ucho? Ruffian. Okay. Forger.
What a shady character. A real criminal, if ever I saw one. What is your particular line of work?
The forger, mate. I take documents and change them to read how the client wants them to read.
Może nasz dowód, ten dokument, na mocy którego jest właścicielem naszego domu, coś
I
będziemy
do
mogli
not
z tym
wish to
zrobić.
continue this conversation.
Deed, nie pamiętam jak to się tłumaczy.
I haven't seen such an unsavory cove since I last visited
Tak,
the
fajny
House of
klimat i
Commons.
humor jest fajny. Sam język jest fajny.
I daren't open my mouth in front of him for fear that he may steal my tongue.
A tak? No nie będziemy ich atakować. Jeszcze nie. Dobra. Gdzie tu jeszcze można pójść? No to jest burdel, jak nic.
She looks like mutton dressed as, well, mutton, actually.
Receptionist, okay.
Please, let me in. I'm on an important mission.
Yes, I'm fully aware of what important mission you're on, my love. It's so important that once you've accomplished it, you'll roll over and go to sleep, I'll wager.
No, no. It's nothing like that.
Don't play the innocent with me, Sonny Jim. I eat men like you for breakfast. Well, when I was younger, that is. Show me your membership card or clear off out of it.
To jest ta nasza karta, co mamy. Calling card, club membership.
I am afraid that this establishment is not part of the highborn club chain of gentlemen's recreational facilities, and therefore membership of one does not automatically infer membership of the other.
No cóż, może następnym razem.
Where to, Governor?
The Royal Scientific Institute, Kensington.
Do królowej na końcu, co?
What are we doing here, sir?
We may be able to sell some of my possessions to the Institute to raise funds for the mission.
Where are we going to find the other £7,999 from, then?
I'll have you know that some of my possessions are very valuable indeed. That Ming vase of mine, for example. You know, the one you dropped when you were dusting it. Well, I'm sure I've got some other items that are worth selling.
No ja sobie nie przypominam tej muzyki. To wygląda jak Muzeum Historii Naturalnej, nie?
He stops the rabble getting in.
You can't go through there, sir. It's for historians and scientists only.
How do you know I'm not one of the cognoscenti?
You're dressed too tastefully, sir.
Please let me in. I'm a collector of antiquities.
I'm afraid you'll have to show me that you're a serious collector. This is an elite establishment. We can't let any old riffraff in.
You must let me in. Let me through, or my manservant will bite you.
That wouldn't be wise on his part, sir. I fought in the Crimean War and killed 30 Russian dragoons with just my appendix.
I have come to visit the eminent writer and scientist Herbert George Wells.
Sorry, sir, he's gone away. He said he'd be back before anyone would even know he was gone.
Autor Wehikułu Czasu, nie? I ta audycja, co Orson Welles ją nagrał. Wojna Światów.
Look, I've discovered the missing link.
Innych. Nie wiem, czy nie
Unless I'm much
nie
mistaken,
wiem, czy nie napisał
that's
też
your
Wyspy doktora
manservant,
Moro.
sir.
Yes, it was under my nose all the time. Isn't that amazing? You don't believe me, do you?
No, sir.
I have in my possession an incredible talking cat.
Sir, this is a respected scientific institute, not Barnum and Bailey's circus.
I won't talk with you now. I'm a busy man.
Ten artefakt mów
This is
wcześniej.
part of my collection. Will this convince you that I deserve to be allowed in?
It's a nice piece. Late Phoenician. I'm sorry for doubting you, sir. You are a true aficionado. Please, go on through.
No.
But look at it. It's a monstrosity. It will never work.
You don't know what you're talking about, Tipple. Computing engines are the future of science. To ignore the calculating power of our analytical engine is folly.
But all the Institute's funds have been squandered on this oversized abacus. The future is in exploration. If you would only give me the staff necessary to complete my project.
Oh, yes, your project. To go to the moon? Tipple, you are a fool. Even if you got there, you would find nothing but dust.
That's where you're wrong. By my calculations, there is a resource on the moon of such quantity that the first people to stake a claim will be rich beyond their wildest dreams. And if this institute were to help me in my work, you could build all the analytical engines you wanted with the spoils.
We will not risk any of our staff on your wild goose chase, Tipple. Your plan for getting to the moon is reckless, untested, and probably suicidal.
We'll see who has the last laugh.
That's Professor Tipple, one of London's more eccentric inventors. Pompous old academics. What would they know about anything? I think he's too irate to talk to at the moment. I should wait until he's calmed down a little.
Okay.
He looks after the exhibits in the Institute. I've never seen anything like it. It might be something to do with the analytical engine. Maybe I can use this to help that little professor chap. Good grief. All this amazing technology and all people want to do with it is play games. But I'm sure science will prevail. Computer games will never catch on.
Fajne.
Maybe I can use this to help that little professor chap. That's Professor Tipple, one of London's more eccentric inventors.
Dobra, oni nie chcą ze mną gadać. To był prawie pong, ale były bramki, tylko w sensie była przerwa w ściance na tyle, żeby odróżnić od prawdziwego ponga, ale i tak wszyscy wiedzą, że to pong. Chodźmy do naszego klubu.
Where to, Governor?
Where to, Governor?
The Highborn Club on Piccadilly.
Koniec piękny, nie?
He's not important. He's my manservant.
No wiesz, łatwiej było zrobić model niż rysować go z 15 różnych ujęć, jak wchodzi w kadr.
I've seen that chap so many times, but I just cannot remember his name. I don't think I've ever said any more than the most cursory greeting to him.
Rozumiem, nie rozmawiamy ze służbą.
Good day, Mr. Fanshawe. Hello, Peter. Potter, sir. Jolly good. I try not to speak to servants unless it's strictly necessary.
Słusznie.
Smells diabolic, vitriolic, but above all, alcoholic.
Porto?
I fear that even tasting such a drink will give me a severe case of gout. I will not deliver that drink to anyone. That's a job for the butler.
Okej.
It's a box of Old Faithful, the most powerful snuff in the world. It must belong to one of the club members. I'm sure I can find a more practical use for this than sticking it up my nose.
Snuff tabaka? Nie.
Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe. Cheerio, Portley. Potter, sir. Excellent.
Excellent.
Good day, Mr. Fanshawe. Hello, Potman. Potter, sir. Jolly good.
Fajny żart. Okej, czyli nie da się. Często tak kliknięcie w prawo w pierwszej części ekranu odczytuje jako po prostu wyjście. Czyli poruszamy się zawsze na tym jednym planie. Okej.
That's the Earl of Lytton. I was at school with him. Hello there. You're the Earl of Lytton, aren't you? Do you remember me? Fanshawe. Piers Fanshawe. We were at school together.
Do you mind? I'm trying to concentrate on my shot.
Sorry, old chap.
Actually, Fanshawe, you can do me a favor. Run along and find that senile butler and tell him to bring me my port. I've been waiting minutes.
Good to see you too.
I've been waiting minutes.
That's the Earl's calling card. It identifies him as a member of royalty, albeit several thousandth in line to the throne. I don't think the Earl would appreciate me rifling through his possessions.
Okej, czyli on ma... Lokaj zapomniał mu to Porto przynieść, tak? A tam była jakaś wizytówka, która identyfikuje go jako błękitno... Znaczy się, no, że jest to royalty. Nie royalty, a royal... Wiecie, o co chodzi. On, nasz bohater tego nie chciał podnieść, czyli trzeba mu wysłać to Porto, to on coś to Porto musi być niesmaczne, on musi stąd uciec, pewno trzeba to podnieść. Okej, co możemy dolać do kieliszka? Whisky nie, bo to był alkohol do alkoholu, ale...
I would never drink any of this unless I really had to. They should give the Earl of Lytton a run for his money.
Exactly.
I say, shouldn't you take that glass of port into his lordship? I think I heard him call for it.
Sorry, sir, but I didn't hear him. I'm a little deaf in my right ear. I'll take it in now.
Jolly good.
Oh,
Jolly good.
3:30, sir.
Bottoms up, old chap.
Port! Where's my port? I need a little drinky to sharpen my aim. Ah, there you are, my little beauty. Come to Papa. I say, I think I have to go potty.
Slapstick odrobinę gorszy niż teksty. A teraz będziemy mogli zabrać?
This could be useful if I wanted to pass myself off as royalty. He's one of the denizens of the Highborn Club. Overpaid, oversexed, and over the hill. Gentlemen, I have returned.
Ah, Fanshawe. Long time no see. How are our American cousins?
Coming along quite nicely, considering they've had independence for almost a century now. They're getting the hang of it. Give them another 100 years and they'll probably be the major power on this planet.
What? Bigger than the British Empire? Well, that's preposterous. Who ever heard of such a thing?
One can't stand in the way of progress. Change is inevitable.
Balderdash! All this talk of progress and change, that's why we've got the British Army, to stop that sort of thing. If you're going to continue to spout such contemporary liberal nonsense, we may have to reconsider your membership of this club.
Fajne to
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm in need of your help, gentlemen.
Help? What do you think this is, a charity, Fanshawe?
I need funds for a mission of worldwide importance.
Sorry, we only help the British. The rest of the world can take care of itself.
I require a loan.
I'm sure we can scrape together a few guineas between us. How much do you need?
£8,000?
You must be joking. We wouldn't pay that much to save the lives of our wives and children, let alone risk it on you.
I want to sell my manservant.
You mean the short, fat one who can only cook one thing and who can't stand travelling on boats?
That's right. Mossop is his name.
I wouldn't take him if you paid me. Common English servants are dreadfully passé nowadays. I just hired a new chap from France, Passepartout. He's bright, reliable, and saves me a fortune on butcher's bills by cooking things he finds in the garden, like snails and frogs.
I have a business proposition for you all.
Business, eh? Well, I think we're all men of the world here. What have you got in mind?
And does it involve putting small children and pit ponies down badly ventilated mine shafts? Or large and brutal machines which regularly entrap and hideously mangle their impoverished operators?
Good God, no.
Well, that's me out then. Stick to what you know best. That's my philosophy.
I'm setting up a ship chartering business.
Not very advisable at the moment, old boy, given this bally shipping blockade. Parliament has to authorise every ship's arrival or departure, and there's a 3-month waiting list. Only Her Majesty the Queen has the power to bypass these emergency regulations, so there's not much of a market for private shipping enterprises right now.
Czyli trzeba będzie u królowej załatwić wyjście z portu.
I want to operate sightseeing tours using a boat on the Thames.
I don't think even foreign tourists would want to be shown miles upon miles of common people using the world's largest open sewer.
I'm starting my own private navy.
There's nothing wrong with the Royal Navy, and they hire out to the highest bidder. They help smaller countries fight off aggressive neighbours.
And a lot of my best friends are sailors.
Anybody fancy a wager?
Why would we want to make a bet with you, rather than with a respectable bookmaker?
Because respectable bookmaker is a contradiction in terms.
So is gentlemen, for that matter. So pray tell, why should we make a wager with you?
Because I'm a member of this club, and therefore I am as trustworthy as you are.
We know how trustworthy we are. Therefore, that's not a very convincing argument. So I say again, sir, why you, and not a respectable bookmaker?
Because I give stupid odds.
How stupid?
100 to 1.
Okay, you're on. What's the bet?
Mm, 80 dni
I
dookoła
bet
świata.
I can travel around the world in 80 days.
Well, it's all very well, but what's the point? I mean, you end up where you started from. You have to travel through some of the most wretched hellholes on Earth, and that's before you've even reached the Channel. And hardly anywhere has duty-free shops yet, so you can't even stock up on cheap whiskey and cigars. It's a pointless exercise, man.
I bet I can find a cure for poverty.
Good heavens, don't do that, man. However else would we control the masses?
I bet Mossop can eat his own weight in lard.
It looks like he's done that already. That's no bet.
I wager I can get from here to Dinsey Island in a week.
Where on earth is Dinsey Island?
I don't know. No one knows. That's what makes it such a good bet. All I know is that it's in the tropics.
How will you get there? You don't have a ship, do you, Henshaw?
No, but I was hoping you'd let me borrow against my stake so that I could charter a ship.
To jest
In
dobre
the
deal.
interest of good sportsmanship, I don't see why not.
I see why not.
Kingpiece, what are you doing here, you rogue?
I'm a member of this club too, Piers. You know that. I have every right to be here.
This is a private matter between myself and these honourable gentlemen. Go and bother someone else.
Oh, Piers, you of all people know what an honourable person I am. I would be remiss in my duty as a gentleman if I turned a blind eye to the blatant confidence trick such as the one you are trying to pull on my friends here.
To jest
What?
jego
Explain
konkurent,
yourself,
tak?
Kingpiece. This is a serious accusation.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a serious matter. My friend, Mr. Fanshawe, has offered you 100-to-1 odds for a perilous journey to an uncharted isle, correct? I regret to announce that he is deceiving you. The voyage is easy. You will lose your stake money for sure.
That's poppycock. I will stake my honour on it.
Would you stake your club membership on it? And offer to retire from polite society if you're proved wrong?
I stand by my word, sir.
What do you say to that, Kingpiece?
Well, friends, I suggest we give Mr. Fanshawe a run for his money. I will race him to Dinsey Island, and he must beat me to win the bet. And I have my own ship, fully crewed by experienced sailors and friends in the government, who will expedite my passage through the blockade. What do you say, gentlemen?
Well, it's a good offer, and it means we don't have to pay for Fanshawe's ship. Kingpiece, you've got a deal.
But he's not part of the wager. He's just doing this to spite me.
We're changing the terms of the wager, Fanshawe, as is our right, being of the upper classes. You must beat young Kingpiece to this Dinsey Island place, or resign from this club and never set foot in London again. Agreed?
Agreed. But what happens if I win?
Oh, Piers, it's not the winning, it's the taking part. Got to go! I've got a ship to catch.
But how am I going to be able to compete with him when I haven't got a ship myself?
There may be a way for you to give yourself a fighting chance, Fanshawe. I've got a ship I'd be willing to gamble if the stakes were high enough.
You'd do that for
To do
me.
jednego to nie jest.
Only because you're a
Dobry kurs.
desperate man, and desperate men make silly wagers. Give me a high enough stake and a safe enough bet, and you could win my ship.
I think I may take you up on that. He's one of the denizens of the Highborn Club. Overpaid, oversexed, and over the hill.
Fanshawe, if you haven't got a decent stake and a safe bet to gamble on for my ship, you'd better go out and try to find a way to get to this Dinsey Island place
Pewno
before
dowód
Kingpiece
własności
does.
naszego
Or
domu
you
trzeba
won't like
będzie
the
wykorzystać,
consequences.
ale jeszcze nie teraz. Nie wiem, czy ta gra ma opcję rozwiązywania zagadek na różne sposoby, więc na wszelki wypadek jeszcze nie oddamy naszego domu. Sejwik, nie? Bardzo upierdliwe to menu. Ale działa.
Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe. Cheerio, privy. Potter, sir. Excellent.
Fajny żart, podoba mi się.
Where to, Governor?
Zobaczmy,
Barnsbury.
czy Mirabella dostała herbatkę.
Wait here, Mossop.
Thank you, sir.
Smells like tar. Hello, Gertrude.
I made some tea and cake.
Very good, Gertrude. It will fall apart in my hands. I need to put it in a container of some sort.
Mamy container of some sort.
It almost looks like a cigar. Heaven help anyone who tries to smoke that.
To był crackers, nie? W sensie ciastko.
It doesn't smell of anything special. I'm not tasting that. It looks like Mossop's bathwater. Or at least it would if he ever took one. It's stone cold. That maid must have forgotten to boil the water.
Okej. Wyjdź proszę cię stąd.
That's Gertrude, the senile maid of my beloved Mirabella.
Tylko co nam to da, że mamy dla niej herbatę?
It's a cup of cold tea.
Czy możemy whisky dodać?
Everything in its proper place, but not there. I should try to place something more useful there.
Sprawdźmy. Ale zróbmy save'a na początek. By się nie okazało, że zablokujemy sobie opcję.
Giving Mirabella a cup of tea won't help me get the engagement ring back.
Okej.
I will be talked at by you later, my sweet.
Tą herbatę wydaje mi się, że trzeba jej dać, tylko...
That dried out cake almost passes as a cigar. I don't know what that chap was wiping on my handkerchief, but it's awfully slippery.
Chyba, że to jest jakiegoś smaru od tego gościa z baru. Chyba, że chcemy użyć tego smaru, żeby zsunąć jej pierścionek z palca. Sprawdźmy.
This should make the teacup very slippery indeed.
Okej, spróbujmy.
It's cold!
It's Vichyssoise tea, my dear. Very fashionable on the continent. The sun will warm it up for you.
Oh, the cup's all greasy.
It's Wedgwood waxy china crockery, dear. Extremely popular with the royal family, I hear.
Well, why didn't you say so? If it's good enough for royalty, it's good enough for me.
That is my beloved fiancée. She's as affectionate as a great white shark, and she shops like there's no tomorrow. I will be talked at by you later, my sweet.
Okej. Czyli nic mi to nie pomogło. Okej. Gdzie my jeszcze nie byliśmy?
Where to, Governor?
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace. Piękny ten koń. Nie wiem, o co wam chodzi.
Are we going to see the Queen, sir?
We certainly are, Mossop. Not only do I have to report on my American business, but I will also ask for her help in vanquishing Dr. Dinsey.
But you aren't booked in to see her until next week, sir. And you know how she is about appointments and punctuality.
Yes, yes, I know that, Mossop. But this is an emergency, and I am one of her most secret and trusted agents. I'll get in to see her.
Może zaatakować.
He's one of the Grenadier Guards who ensure the security of Buckingham Palace. It's a well-known fact that one cannot reason with a soldier.
Halt! Who goes there? Identify yourself or be shot!
I am Piers Fanshawe, secret agent of Her Majesty the Queen, and I
Średni
carry
secret,
news of
skoro się
vital
przedstawia.
importance to the Empire.
Piers who? I've never heard of ya.
That's because I'm a secret agent. Now let me in.
How do I know you're a secret agent? Do you have a badge?
Secret agents don't have badges, or they wouldn't be very secret, would they?
Do you have any gadgets then? You know, like fountain pens that turn into Gatling guns, or a walking cane that converts into a field cannon, or a top hat that always points due north.
No. Now let me past.
Do you have an appointment?
Yes, it's just not for today.
Then I cannot let you pass. Ordinary people can't just walk into the palace whenever they feel like it. You must have an appointment.
So Her Majesty won't see anyone who hasn't got an appointment.
Well, if you were a royal stock yourself, that would be a different matter. They always look after their own.
I see.
No to przestawmy się jak ten... O, calling card.
I'm the Earl of Lytton. Let me pass.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. Footman.
He serves the Queen and no one else. He only heeds the word of Her Majesty. He serves the Queen and no one else, rather like Mossop, except that Mossop doesn't even serve the Queen. Looks like a pile of letters. I can't just take that without permission.
Jest królowa Wiktoria.
It's one of the Queen's lapdogs. If one bites you, it's best to smile and bleed quietly, rather than make a fuss. That is Her Majesty Queen Victoria, the greatest ruler the British Empire has ever known. She hasn't got much of a sense of humour, though. Nothing amuses her. Your Majesty, I am, as always, your humblest servant.
Fanshawe, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this about our invitation to your wedding? Because you know we can only attend royal engagements.
Oh, no, ma'am. Please forgive my overzealous fiancée. She only invited you because she, wants to show how much she loves Queen and country. In fact, I think she actually invited most of the country as well. I hope you did not take offence at her misguided action.
Fortunately for you, we did not.
Thank you, ma'am.
Why have you come to see us? You are not due to report on your secret mission in the Americas for several days hence.
I am aware of that, ma'am, but there is a more pressing matter that I must discuss with you. One of national importance.
We are listening. Do go on.
A mad doctor is performing inhuman experiments on an uncharted island in the tropics and plans to create an army of horrible creatures that he could use to take over the world. There would be a war the likes of which are unimaginable.
Tell us, Fanshawe, when you were in America, you didn't spend all of your time in a place called California, did you?
No, ma'am. Why do you ask?
You seem to be exhibiting signs of acute aversion to reality, which is a common complaint about people from that region, or so we have heard.
Your Majesty, I can assure you that I am of sound mind and noble purpose.
Tell Her Majesty about the talking cat, sir.
Mossop, shut up.
What talking cat?
Your Majesty, I'm afraid my manservant is, wondering about the identity of his father. Now, Mossop, don't bother Her Royal Highness with such unimportant matters.
But, sir...
My story is incredible, I agree. But surely any threat to the British Empire, however bizarre, should at least be investigated, should it not?
You have served well in the past. We trust your word as a gentleman that this is a serious matter worthy of our intervention. So, there is to be a war. We have nothing against wars in principle. They're very good for the economy. Will it be over by Christmas? We can't have it interfere with our speech, you understand.
Oh, yes,
Zrozumiałe.
Mom. It'll definitely be over by Christmas. The only trouble is, Britain will not be the victor. If I do not stop this madman now, there will be no one left alive to hear your speech.
We cannot let that happen. Very well. What do you seek?
8000 funtów.
I need a Navy frigate with a platoon of our finest Marines.
We cannot authorize use of military resources on the word of a single civilian, no matter how much of a gentleman he may be.
One more thing, Mom.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I need a ship and crew.
Surely a man of means like yourself should be able to afford to charter a ship. You're not telling us that you are not a man of means, are you?
No, ma'am, certainly not. If I were not a man of means, I would not darken your doorstep with my lowly, poverty-stricken hide.
Well put, Fanshawe.
One more thing, ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I want you to send the Royal Navy to investigate Dr. Dinsey.
A gentleman would surely go himself. Maybe we misheard you.
I wouldn't dare imagine your Majesty is hard of hearing, but the acoustic properties of this room could have distorted what I said, indeed. One more thing, ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I just want your blessing, ma'am.
That we can grant you, Fanshawe. In fact, we can do better than that. We can give you a personal letter of recommendation from the Queen of England that, when presented to anyone, anywhere in the world, will immediately give you an air of superiority and will demand instant respect. It will open doors for you everywhere.
Thank you, ma'am. You do that just for me.
You are one of our most loyal subjects. You deserve it. Now, go to that pile and take one of the letters. Write your name at the top. I've already signed it.
Oh, thank you once again, ma'am. One more thing, ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I will need your permission to bypass the shipping blockade.
Very well. We don't see why you should not. Show this to the officials at the docks, and they will let your ship depart freely.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. One more thing, ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I would like your blessing to marry Mirabella de Camembert.
That you have with our pleasure, although we are of the opinion that you would be better off asking the Lord for whatever help he can give you with that girl. We are only the Queen of England, you know.
One more thing, ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I will tell you later, Your Majesty. I do not wish to bother you any more at this time.
Weźmiemy sobie list, rekomendacje od królowej. Super. Letter of recommendation.
This should put in a good word for me in any place where they respect the word of Queen Victoria.
No to w tamtych czasach połowa świata.
This is my ticket past the shipping blockade.
Znaczy tak, kwestie biurokratyczne udało się załatwić zaskakująco szybko. Teraz tylko fundusze trzeba zebrać. Pewną załogę. To jest do zrobienia. Ciekawe, czy ten burdel w Whitechapel przyjmuje rekomendacje od królowej.
The Club and Sailor Public House in Whitechapel. I have a letter.
That's all right, love. We've got our own supply.
No, a letter from Her Majesty the Queen.
You come highly recommended by Queen Vicky herself, eh? Not even Prince Albert had a letter like that. I suppose you can come in and look around, and if you like it here, you could become a member. Go on through.
No, pięknie. List od królowej Wiktorii pozwala zwiedzić burdel. Pięknie. %? Przez 2 godziny? No super, będzie 5 streamów.
Help me!
Okej. Dolly mop.
That's what the young lady uses to photograph her clients. That's one of those girls that my parents told me about. My mother warned me against them, and my father recommended them. That's one of those girls that my parents told me about. My mother warned me against them, and my father recommended them. I say, is this the men's room?
They're all men's rooms in here, my love.
So what happens in this room then? Do you do portrait photography?
Oh, no, love. This is the humiliation room.
What on earth does that entail?
Well, the punter, excuse me, the gentleman, takes all his clothes off and I tie him to the bed. Then I take a photograph of him and get it printed in the morning paper, so he's thoroughly humiliated before the whole of London.
Sounds very effective. Gosh, I feel humiliated if I'm seen wearing the same shirt twice.
So what's it to be then, sir? A bit of the old relief of Mace King? A perilous journey down the Khyber Pass? Entrapment in the black hole of Calcutta? A quick Disraeli or a twopenny Gladstone? I got fresh apricots in the bag.
I'd like to know a bit more about that camera.
Why do you want to know?
Jesteśmy
I'm a
reżyserem.
director of What the Butler Saw machines.
Really? Do you think you could get me some work? I mean, as an actress?
If you're good enough and if you are willing to do me a favor.
A favour, eh? You're in luck. That's what I specialise in giving. What's it to be?
Could I borrow your camera?
Oh, well, I'm not supposed to.
Oh, go on, I'll bring it back.
All right then, but don't tell anyone.
No to mamy aparat.
Don't worry, I'm going to make you a star.
Great, sir. I can hardly wait.
I shall return the camera to you as soon as I can.
No to byliśmy już wszędzie. Nie widzę innej
See
opcji.
anything you like, sirs?
It looks as if he's brought his son here as a coming-of-age present. What an impressive set of credentials that girl has. It appears that this is his first time. In this establishment, of course.
Widzę innego sposobu, jak tylko postawić nasz dom, więc możemy wrócić do naszych kumpli z klubu. I postawić...
Where to, Governor?
The Highborn Club on Piccadilly.
Postawić zastaw, w sensie postawić w ramach tego zakładu akt własności naszego domu.
Good day, Mr. Fedjall. Hello, Popper. Potter. Sir.
Popper.
Jolly good.
Jolly good.
He's one of the Highborn Club servants.
Panowie, wracam do was z ofertą.
Will this do as a stake? The deeds to my house. It's a lovely 2-bedroom terrace property in the heart of London, within easy access of shops and plenty of parking space for carriages.
That would be quite nice as a love nest for a mistress, I suppose. I accept your stake.
No czemu oni to wyrzucili? Co, przyjęli? Czyli mamy
Found a
listę.
safe bet yet, Fanshawe? Look lively, old chap. You're running out of time.
No okej.
Found a safe bet yet, Fanshawe? Look lively, old chap. You're running out of time.
Okej, czyli zakład stoi. Dobra. To może do domu wróćmy, pogadajmy z kotem? Jakkolwiek to brzmi.
Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe. Cheerio, Pongo. Potter.
Cheerio,
Sir.
Pongo.
Excellent.
Jolly good. Excellent. Ta, ta, ta.
Where to, Governor?
Take us home, driver. My manservant will give you directions. Witness the merciless taunting of the helpless mouse. I suppose the feline instinct is still strong within 73, but then again, it could be a human trait. Witness the merciless taunting of the helpless mouse. I suppose the feline instinct is still strong within 73, but then again, it could be a human trait.
W zasadzie procesu, który ma miejsce.
I say, excuse me, 73? Oh, it's no good. He's completely engrossed.
Catnip?
Leave the mouse alone, dear boy. Try this instead. I believe cats quite like it.
Oh, wow, man. Cosmic. I feel groovy.
Okej. Czy jakiś pożytek będziemy mieli z ciebie jeszcze?
While 73 is otherwise engaged, I shall save the poor mouse from a long, protracted death. I don't think I'll disturb him right now.
Okej. Dobra. Kamera, mysz, Royal Warrant, calling card, snuffbox.
I think it's designed to be taken through the nose, actually.
No tak, to miałeś zrobić właśnie.
I think it's designed to be taken through the nose, actually.
Jak każe mu powąchać, to mówi, że to się robi nosem. Jak każe mu polizać, to mówi, no daj spokój, to się robi nosem.
This box of Old Faithful snuff powder is one of the strongest available, second only to gunpowder in terms of potency.
Okej, kot jest do niczego.
I don't think I'll
Czy można
disturb him
czy można
right
go
now.
odsucić? Może
I don't
usunąć?
think I'll disturb him right now.
Myślę, że trzeba wyjść, pojechać gdzieś i wrócić. To się zresetuje. W sensie przejdzie mu ten high.
Where to, Governor?
Take us home, driver. My manservant will give you directions.
Ja mam nadzieję, że nie zmarnowaliśmy tej kocimiętki. Wydaje mi się, że Fanshawe zamyka za sobą drzwi. I Mossip musi je otwierać jeszcze raz. No, przeszło mu.
Stay here, but stay off the furniture.
Co bym mu pokazać? Whisky?
I see no reason for giving things away unnecessarily.
Przestań się wiercić.
I shall hold on to as many of my possessions as I can.
Tylko jednocześnie zagadaliśmy do kota i wyszliśmy. Co ja ci mogę dać? Nie no, mysz to nie.
If I give too many valuables away, I shall have to register myself as a charity.
Słusznie.
Here, kitty kitty, look. A nice, expensive, fragile piece of paper.
O dziwo to.
Oh, my goodness. I must apologize. I don't know what came over me.
Don't worry, you're doing what comes naturally to you as a cat. Just as I planned.
Okej, mam teraz...
73's vandalized this punch card for me. It certainly won't perform as well as it used to.
Może przez przypadek 73 napisał nowy program dla maszyny liczącej. Możemy to sprawdzić.
Where to, Governor?
Gdzie to było?
The Royal Scientific Institute, Kensington.
Kensington. Spróbujmy. To przynajmniej już go nie gnębią ci pozostali.
I told you it was a waste of money. Ha! Stupid contraption.
I don't understand. Computers can't go wrong.
Whoopee! I told you so, I told you so. Nah. Hands up all those whose expensive scientific invention is still in one piece. I don't know what you did, young man, but it showed those stuck-up academical snobs for the fools they are. At last, someone who really believes in my theories.
Tak, to ja.
Absolutely. I'm keen to get involved in your experiments.
Well then, you can be my assistant on my trip to the moon. I don't need anyone from the Institute. The only qualifications needed are enthusiasm and bravery. You're obviously enthusiastic. That only leaves one question. Are you man enough for the job, my boy?
How dangerous is it likely to be?
Let's see. I need someone to go out of my rocket to explore the surface of the moon. Nobody knows for sure what's up there. There could be monsters terrifying beyond your imagination.
Ah, I see. Have you got room for one more?
I'm sure we could squeeze another person in.
Excellent. I'll bring my manservant. If there's anything dangerous up there, he'll sort it out. Or die trying. After all, that's what I pay him for.
Capital idea. Well, come to my house in Harrow later on today and we'll be off.
Świetnie, czyli wygląda na to, że polecimy na Księżyc. Tak trzeba żyć. Dobra, ale mamy 2 godziny. Zrobimy sobie tutaj save'a, ponieważ wiemy już jak. Zrobimy nawet 2. No, 20%, idealnie. Będziemy po 20% robić na streamie. To będzie dobre tempo. Na pewno szybsze niż Czarna Dalia. Super. Podoba mi się gra. Jest fajnie napisana. Nie, że fajnie napisana, to jeszcze fajnie zagrana. Fajny język. I śmieszna. W sensie historia się dopiero zawiązuje, ale język jest rewelacyjny. Także dziękuję Wam bardzo za obecność. Mam nadzieję, że wczorajszy podcast już zdążyliście przesłuchać. Jeżeli nie, to zachęcam do nadrobienia. Jutro pojawi się rozpiska streamów na przyszły tydzień. Nie wiem, czy wyrobię się z Rezydentem na przyszły tydzień. Może będzie w przyszłym. Niemniej jednak Gin Machine powinno wrócić już w przyszłym tygodniu razem z serią trwającą, z Hollow Knighta. Także wypatrujcie jutro późnym popołudniem rozpiski, a ja się żegnam. Dziękuję Wam bardzo i do zobaczenia. Pa!